That's not
Fallout 4. What's going on?
That's not a word.
So final thoughts. Solo, we're all done. It's still in the middle of my pack. Great movie. Go see it again. I can't wait till it comes out on DVD or whatever you want to call it. Digital or whatever.
Blu-ray.
Blunt Ray. Mary Sue Ray.
Red Ray. Solo's great. It moved up in my rankings at the second viewing. I think it will continue to get better. I'm very happy that we finally have the first Star Wars like feature film that isn't galaxy-wide Jedi, Sith, Skywalker, everything. It has some touches of that, but it's so focused on like the underground and the criminal gangs and Solo himself. I thought it was perfectly balanced. The
one thing I didn't get into, just as a quick thing, is the soundtrack. I didn't absolutely love it, but there was nothing in there that I was like, what the fuck are they playing? So I think it meshed well, but I do think in the grand scheme of Star Wars, it was maybe lacking a little because it didn't jump out to me. But that's crazy to say because it doesn't live up to the best thing ever. So
yeah, for me, soundtracks are always like, it should never, like I almost want to say that for a soundtrack, you shouldn't notice it. Like it should be so perfectly synced with the movie that it puts you in the moment and you're not even noticing what the music is because it just has you like put right there in place with the movie. So it's hard to judge that. Like sometimes I'm not sitting there like thinking like, oh my God, this score is so good right now. It's like on John Williams level. So it's not bad by any means. But Williams is just on another level.
Maybe it's just because there wasn't like a grand scale battle or a grand scale struggle. It was all kind of interpersonal and one-on-one or maybe a handful of people.
Right.
So there wasn't any need for a crazy epic like song or whatever score you want to call it.
But I was getting chills like during the Kessel Run when some of those notes of like Han going through the asteroid field and Empire Strike Back came back. Like little quotes like that, or like right when they get into the storm and the Star Destroyer shows up, it throws in that quote from A New Hope. I'm not going to sing it because I would butcher it. But there's some throwbacks right there that like put you right in the sync. That's not it at all. Right in the right in the sync. What the fuck does that mean? Right in sync with what's happening.
So I do have an issue.
What's the issue?
Small little tidbit that I watched it twice and I was like, I still have no fucking clue what you're doing.
What?
Solo, during the Kessel Run, they run into that Star Destroyer, blockade. They send out the TIE fighters. Yeah. Shit, we gotta run. Let's run through the goddamn mist. Craziness. All fun and games. And then he's got that one he can't shake. The blaster or whatever, the gun position's been... It's broke again. Always broke.
Yeah, always. Gets locked.
Out of order. Fuck. So the little maneuver that he says, oh, my friend did this maneuver once before he crashed and wrecked it and he never raced again.
Yeah.
So let me walk you through his okay fucking crazy maneuver. He says, Chewie, put down the landing gear. Chewie does. So what does he do? He smacks the ground, breaks the landing gear, and turns the ship around. And
I did notice that.
He literally does nothing. The TIE fighter should literally just be like following him slowly behind. He like turns the ship around, looks at the TIE fighter, doesn't do anything, and then like flies off.
I don't remember. Did it?
He didn't shoot. He didn't do anything because what ended up happening was the TIE fighter ran into something. And I was like, why? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see it again in context.
I watched.
Is it just one of those things where like you're like chasing each other and like one person just like slams on the brakes and the other one like goes way far forward? Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So
Keegan here is smarter than us and says
it was to bring up dust so the TIE fighter couldn't see. Maybe that's terrible. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I just didn't see it. It didn't make sense to me.
I would agree with that.
I was looking for it the second time because I noticed it the first time and I was like, what the fuck? So it's my second viewing. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this in detail because the first time it didn't make any sense.
Right.
I still didn't get it.
I think it's important to bring up the fact that it's hard to find something to dislike about this movie. Whereas with every other Star Wars movie, I know with the first viewing there's these 3 or 4 things that I have an issue with. Solo, well, I watched it. I've seen it twice now, and it's like, man, what did I like? I feel like I shouldn't actively look for something to dislike. Like if it doesn't pop in my head, that's a good thing.
Well, you want to do a shit round
on Solo?
Yeah,
not really.
I was gonna say because
I'm a Star Wars fan.
I can.
Let's do a. You know what we should do? I've been saying this for a while. I just don't have video editing chops. But I would like to make a Red Letter Media style like review just about the originals. And like break it down and shit on it like they did for the prequels, but do it for the originals. Because you definitely could. It would just take, some skill, which I don't have. Keegan's dropping knowledge about this tie.
A quick shot from the TIE fighter cockpit getting covered. Okay. He said he missed it the first viewing.
The fuck out of here. It's a different Australian special cut. We didn't see that.
Yeah. What kind of smoke screen fucking bullshit?
Smoke screen Moparky.
Moparky. All right. I'll take you at your word, which isn't very good. So.
Can't be trusted.
I mean.
I'm happy with it. Great movie.
I agree.
3 out of 3.
If we want to shit on it, I could probably quickly bring up 3 things.
I probably could, but I don't want to.
Because there was a space octopus.
Mopar.
It had 1,000 limbs, and it was bigger than the galaxy. And like, okay.
Mopar. Disney's paying us to like the movies, not to shit on them.
Well, they will shut this to.
Communications disruption can mean only one thing.
Disney.
We should start doing that, by the way. And I shouldn't say this live on air, but I'm going to because I'll forget. Because now all you guys are going to know about it. But we should just like... No, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Just look out for it. Just look out for it. I want it to be a surprise, but I also don't want to forget. So
we should make like a big surprise thing, but leave like a heavy suspense.
What do you mean? A big surprise thing? What do you mean?
Nah, never mind. Lefty in suspense.
I'm
not triggered happy. So what's happening in Fallout? Let's walk through it.
I just started today. I sound like you when you're doing books. I just got it. I literally turned it on and then I turned it off. That's all I know. I started Fallout 4 today. Let's talk about why. First of all, it's a great game and I've been wanting to play it, but I've been getting more pissed at Battlefront and I actually uninstalled it because I want to take a break from it. So I uninstalled it because every time I got online to stream, I just ended up playing Battlefront instead so we could do multiplayer. So I knew that if I would always just keep going back to that instead of starting the single player game because I haven't played a single player in a while. But no, I started up Fallout 4. Pretty cool stuff. It was nice to like create a character from scratch again. I haven't done that in a while. Pick my stats.
There's a lot of customization in that game.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I didn't go too balls deep with the with like the face customization, but it was cool that you could just like pick an area of your face and move it around like Mario instead of having to like adjust like levers back and forth. Yeah. So it was interesting. Graphics are good. The interface is good. Conversation, everything. I love that they have the choose your like reaction kind of thing like Mass Effect does instead of having like literal lines of dialogue.
Yeah, the entire line of what you're going to say.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Like it'll just say agree, and then your character will say an entire sentence of you agreeing with the, yeah.
Yeah, and they speak it all out, which is really cool, unlike Fallout 3. Because that's the only other one I've played is Fallout 3. So, no, good impressions all around so far. I got through like the beginning part, down in the vault, escaped the vault, and then saw the first reaction, not the first reaction, first, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? First run-in with the Minutemen. Inside of that church, killed the raiders, got in the power armor, got the minigun, fucked people up, killed the deathclaw, and then I saved it. And that's as far as I am so far.
So yeah, you basically just got through the
tutorial thing, yeah.
Tutorial, because that's what that's set up as. That game. So why I like that game, we talked about the technology being like old, ancient, but also futuristic. That's so cool.
Speaking of,
it's ingrained in it so much that every little thing, your Pip-Boy, old but futuristic, and you can fucking fast travel. It's all cool.
Yeah.
Go.
I was gonna say, speaking of, I'm not huge into the Fallout lore other than Fallout 3. So I just learned why all that 50 stuff is so popular and still around after the Fallout. It's because it's like an alternate timeline. Once the US hit World War II, this is like an alternate dimension, kind of like what they did with Wolfenstein, which is cool, which I had no idea of. So basically, as soon as World War II hits, they take all the power from the, what do you call it? Nuclear? Is that it?
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Take all the power from the nuclear.
I didn't know what the fucking word was. I'm trying to think of it. But all the power atomic power. There we go. Boom. And they apply it to like technology, and they advance crazy, crazy fast, and they stick in that like 50s and 60s style, which was pretty interesting. Because in Fallout 3, you just kind of dropped in, and it's already after the Fallout. You don't have any like previous info of what happened to cause the war in the first place. So it was cool to see that in Fallout 4. Just starting off, I had no idea ahead of time. So it's cool. Now I know it's like an alternate timeline. Helps put me in the zone.
In the zone, ready to go, hard as a rock. That's how I play. That's the only way I play.
It's the only way. It's the only way to shuffle the cards.
Full on robot chub. I really enjoy those games. Part of the reason why is because there's every corner, every fucking corner, every hill, every bush you pass, there's an enemy, and they're all different. It'll be a ghoul attacking. It'll be a fucking deathclaw. It'll be a mutated animal. It'll be a bug. It'll be a raider. It'll be a mutant. It'll be an enemy you make during the game, based on your decisions.
Yeah.
It'll be a fucking sea creature. Like everything in the entire wasteland is trying to kill you, and I absolutely love it. The robots, half the fucking robots are out just on like murder mode, and they're running around just shooting shit, murder things. Murder, much more. And I really love the variety of enemies, but I also love the variety of guns. It could be a plasma, it could be a laser, it could be a shotgun, it could be a fucking stick. I picked up, it said glowing stick, and it like plus 15% paralyzation or some shit. I fucking love it. I love it.
That's never been a stat in a game. Plus 15 paralyzation. That's awesome, man. Oh, I love it.
But I do like the variety. And what you can do in that game, dude, it adds a whole town building aspect. I had to build power generators, the power lights, the power turrets in the city that I built.
I'm looking forward to that.
Dude, it's so cool. And the crazy thing is, I built all that, and because I'm never there, I never get to use it. But if I spent more time in my area, I'm sure it's called the Sanctuary. But I'm sure I'll get attacked, and deathclaws will come flying in and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. I don't know what it is. I really love. It's on equal, I think, to Skyrim for me.
Really?
Because I play Skyrim. I had it over Skyrim for the longest time. Skyrim is just, they're so different. They're both open world.
They're similar and different, yeah.
Skyrim's very... This is going to sound weird, but it's very life-based. It's animals and plants and dragons, and there's a lot of life. Fallout's very technology-based.
And radiated
in a way that technology actually fucked up the animal life.
Right.
And I mean, it's so cool. I love them both, but Fallout 4 is so immersive, and maybe that's just kind of the one downfall of Skyrim is because it's how many years old already. If they had a brand new Skyrim, it'd probably, I'm assuming it'd be more immersive, more shit going on.
Well, we're about to get one.
Even the update that they brought, they added some things. I think it's just because
I had the Legendary Edition with the mods and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, the mods, and I didn't have the DLC originally, so that added a lot to it.
Lots to this. Yeah, I think I love
Fallout 4 is. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say I love the setting of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general way better. I never disliked Fallout, but I never just got as obsessed with it as I did with Elder Scrolls. I think I finished the campaign of 3, but I honestly can't remember because we were playing that Because I was living with Butterclone back then, and he picked it up. Like we went together to get it from GameStop when it came out, because he had been following it and he knew all about it, and I was clueless. And I was like, "What the fuck is this game about? Like Nuclear Wasteland? That sounds boring as hell." And then we fell in love with it and played it like obsessively for a few months. I don't remember if I actually beat the campaign or not. Like that's like I enjoyed it and I was like into it for a little bit, but I wasn't obsessed like Skyrim. We played nonstop for like 4 years straight, man. But I don't know. Yeah. I just like the fantasy setting of Elder Scrolls way better.
Yeah, I think I disagree. I don't know why.
You can't disagree that I like the fantasy setting better.
See, I like the landscape and I don't know.
Full disclosure.
I like the landscape of Skyrim better because it's, man, you have rivers and shit and there's mountains and waterfalls and butterflies and all this shit. So it's cool. Like when you're walking around, you just see stuff and you're like, wow, that's actually pretty fucking cool.
Right.
But in a wasteland, like there's no snow. It's just you got green water that's poisoning you. Fuck that.
Now, I haven't gotten too far into 4, and I can guarantee that the world is much more rich than it was for Fallout 3. Because that game is 2008, 2009, I think. So I'm sure it's like the world itself is much more diverse and everything. So I'm sure I will have a different opinion on it as I go through this one. But
yeah, and it's cool because there's like a whole underground map too.
Oh shit! Nice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like you'll go into something and then all of a sudden there'll just be a door and you'll be under the city. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? There'll be ghouls and goblins down there and woo, Spider-Man.
Those mods that they were talking about during the Patreon call sound fucking tasty.
See, I'm not a big mod person because I just like to play the game as it was set up. But if it adds,
fucking
dude,
purist.
the one that Brian showed us where it was like a
you
sound
like an original trilogy fan. Fucking purist.
Yeah.
No.
Don't touch it.
Don't mess with stuff.
Don't make it better. So yeah, I can't say anything. I'm not done with it. And it's almost like I accidentally came across the main quest. I hate calling it a quest. Main mission.
Quest thing.
Quest mission.
It's Lord of the Rings quote. You wouldn't understand.
Job. So.
Wait, you haven't beat it at all? I thought you beat it. Like when it first came out, I thought you played it all the way through.
I spent so many fucking hours on it, and I never got through it because it's just like Fallout. It's just like Skyrim, where you could play the game endlessly without doing the main quest.
Yeah.
And even if you do the main quest, you could still play it endlessly.
Let's just sit back and acknowledge how awesome Bethesda is. Like the way that they make their games is fantastic, and the fact that you can put 300 hours into a game and not beat it is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's all good. It's all good. I enjoy it. It's cool. I'm excited for you to actually get into it. Yep. Pay attention to the weather because that's the fucking coolest thing. When it first happened, I got goosebumps. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I think I was on live or Pat was like, I think I was living with Pat when it happened. And he was laughing. He's like, oh, thunderstorm, huh? I was like, yeah, that's fucking terrifying. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it on the surround sound headphones too.
Do it. Turn it
up. One
up.
thing I will say, it is way easier to get into it. I feel like when Fallout 3 at the very beginning of the game, all you had was that 10 mil pistol and like a terrible rifle, and you were kind of stuck with those for a while. This one, by the time you go through the whole Minuteman thing and get the power armor, you have like 6 or 7 different types of guns and a whole bunch of different armor that you can totally like look whatever way you want and find whichever kind of gun style you like, if you like the rifles or the pistols or whatever. So it's way more welcoming to like get started early on, which is nice. Because I feel like we were talking about
the tutorial is only like 15, 20 minutes if you run through it real quick.
Yeah. I know you were talking about...
But the tutorial is even fun because you grab a fucking minigun and go at it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I didn't expect that to happen so early on. I know T-Dot talked about it when he was on, but I didn't expect it to like... The power armor is here, and now you can continue using it every time you have a power cell. I was like, well, Jesus. You couldn't get that till like 25 hours in Fallout 3.
Right. I do have to say, I wish they made an open world Fallout 3 because I do like the DC. I like running around like killing mutants next to the Washington Monument because that's fucking badass. But I also really, really enjoy playing it in Boston because you have the whole harbor aspect of it, and that's fun. It adds so much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of police department kind of ingrained into the story.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different police department factions and locations, and it's so cool. As well as like the subway, like it's a major city, so you can get into the subways and that sort of thing.
Right. Sounds sweet.
It's cool. It's just fun.
Yeah. So ever since E3 and the Fallout 76 news, I bought this Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition with all the DLC and everything. I just been waiting to play it, so I'm glad I started. And it'll be good to get through this from now until November, until Fallout 76 comes out.